Hello everybody, I'm DrFlux, and today is an exciting episode of Flux Friday. We have a pretty good lineup today. First off, we have the package from Zuru that has arrived, so we're going to take a look at those. It comes with a couple blasters in a really cool box. And not only we're going to get chronograph readings, but I'd like to actually check out these blasters and see what kind of performance we get with various ammo types, or different types of rival, the little ball ammo. After that, we're going to take a look at a couple new blasters. Well, new to me and kind of stuff that's really sparked my interest. Number one is a blaster from Frantz Foamworks known as the Weyland. We're going to take a look at this because I have one of these on order, and so I want to talk about what this thing is and exactly, why it's so exciting to get one of these. After that, we'll be looking at another blaster by Colonel Wasp. This is the 76 AEB, and man, this thing looks cool. So I have some information here from Monkeemods, so I'm going to kind of put that out and we're going to just talk about this new upcoming blaster. And in closing, we will look at some comments that were left on last week's Flux Friday and just kind of respond to them. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's episode of Flux Friday.
It's Flux Friday, the best update show in the hobby, brought to you and hosted by DrFlux.
So right out the gate, let's talk about this package. This thing is spectacular. I mean, look at the LED lights in this thing. Looks super cool. Thank you so much, Zuru Toys or xshot, for sending this to me. Can't wait to do some more fun content with it. For now, today, we're gonna basically take a look at what's in the box. And here we have a couple blasters. At a quick glance, you can see these things are just a recolor of a prior blaster, which, the Orbit and the Chaos are extremely good. So seeing them in this new, clear kind of frosted shell with red internals that really pop out from the shell, it's really cool. These are really great blasters, and it's cool to see another color of them. Now, something that I have personally seen in the hobby for clear blasters, they seem to be very positive. And I believe that's because the clear shells are not really, it's very hard to mistake a clear toy for something that's real. So usually we go with bright colors, but also clear shell work also shows that, hey, look inside of this thing, it's clearly a toy. There's a spring, there's some plastic mechanical parts in there. You can clearly see it's a safe toy. So that's one part. Another part is you can put some really beautiful LED work in these things and make them glow, which, once again, makes them more of an eye-catching kind of like toy that's something fun. And then the final thing that I think is really cool about this type of, the clear shell, as opposed to like a colored clear shell, this normal clear shell you can actually possibly dye and get some different color variations, which is really cool. And if you're just looking to paint it, it's actually much easier to paint a blaster that is clear or translucent like this, because you don't have to deal with layering multiple layers of colors to bring it up, bring it darker or bring it lighter. In summary, a clear shell, pretty cool for the modding community. Now, something I had issues with on the original Chaos Meteor and Orbit was I had some inconsistencies with firing non-proprietary, the ball ammo. And so I tried stuff like xshot, even Rival or the Adventure Force brand, they're kind of round rival rounds, and I had issues. So in today's video with these new models, I want to put all those different ammos through these blasters and see if in fact they perform well, if they have any issues or anything like that. Because I've heard from multiple sources, multiple people have said that this was an issue with the first models. Now it's good. So let's go ahead and check this out. The first ones we ran through were just the regular Chaos rounds. That's what comes with, that's xshot's version of this round, which obviously these are the ones that came with the blaster, so they should work well. So we can see that performance here. I then moved on to the Adventure Force. So that is the orange round that you can get at Walmart. It's like the Adventure Force brand. Then we moved on to xshot. So xshot is a kind of a cheaper alternative to buying bulk, rival rounds. If you know, back when Rival was super expensive, we would turn to like Headshot and they would basically provide a cheaper round. So I have a lot of Headshot and these seem to perform not that bad also. And the final ammo type that we tested with was just the standard Nerf Rival. And the ones I chose in this video were orange. That's because these came with the Overwatch blasters, but they're the same round, so should be fine. As we can see, the performance of it was not too drastic, and I didn't have any of the issues I used to have with the original model, so I'm very happy to report that. So not only do we have some beautiful looking blasters with some custom, amazing case that they came in, but they actually perform very well. So I wanted to check the overall accuracy of these blasters at around 30 feet, and as we can see, pretty good. So we shot some cups and didn't have any issues there. And moving on, we're going to talk about the Weyland from Frantz Foamworks right after this quick commercial break. Are you a huge fan of Rival flywheel blasters? Do you want to take your Nemesis or Percy's up to the next level? If you answered yes to any of these questions, then Wurstwerfer has a product for you. These custom CNC precision milled wheels are cut from Delrin, which is basically like adamantium in the Nerf hobby. Pick up your next set of Rival flywheels today using the link in the description. Let's get right back to the show. The Weyland. This is a blaster formerly known as Project Aurora from Frantz Foamworks. Now this blaster has a very mil-sim type of look to it, which is fine. Just be safe with it. If you're playing in a public environment, make sure you got bright colors on it and you should be fine. But I want to talk about this one today because I have one on order. I purchased one of these and I can't wait to get my hands on it. So I talked with Frantz Foamworks. We have a little bit of data here I want to share with all of you as to what goes into this blaster and what we can expect. So let me run down some of this list here. So we have an average of 190 FPS, so very spicy. It has a what's called a wild card magwell. Now what this allows is for you to go back and forth between Katana and Talon, I believe. So pretty cool. I do think the Katana mags are kind of, I want to say dead, but I don't know anyone in my local group that actually runs Katanas anymore. But still, very cool that we have that flexibility. Something that really caught my eye was toolless tuning, which is perfect for in between games. So essentially, if you're doing a higher FPS match and you need to drop it down or bring it up, you can do so. And it says that it's tunable up to, so down to 130 FPS. So you can start at 190 and drop it down to 130, which is perfect. This is done by swapping out the springs. And it shows here that the primary spring used, well, exclusively, are Turf Blaster springs. So basically keep a couple springs and you can swap it out real quick in between games. And yeah, that's pretty amazing. In conclusion, this seems like a very solid platform. Can't wait to get mine. And I will be doing a full review on the channel. So make sure you're subscribed so you can see when that video comes out. And next up is an amazing blaster from Monkeemods. Now I got some information that we pulled from the Monkeemods blog, and I've gotten approval from Monkeemods to use this, so we're gonna kind of dive into this and take a look, because this thing is cool. This is the Colonel Wasp 76 AEB. So the Colonel Wasp 76 is an AEB, and that stands for Automatic Electronic Blaster, somewhat similar to the QWK Challenger Mark III. They are both LiPo-powered and both utilize a spring and gear system to fling foam. Now this is very similar, if not the same thing, as a Stampede, which is a very unique and amazing system, and it's really cool to see a hobby grade blaster made with this type of mechanism. I'm going to summarize this next section. Essentially, the 76 is going to have a lot fewer parts than the Challenger. Basically, they're trying to simplify and kind of perfect this mechanism. And then they mentioned the golden rule, which is less parts, lesser points of failure or fault points, and lesser chances that things go wrong. So hence, the 76 should definitely be more reliable, which is good. I like reliable blasters. That's one thing that I'll be covering in a separate video, but the point is, if you don't have a reliable blaster, then what's the point? So that's good to hear. Let's go on. So we got two sections here. We got the open bolt breech, and they kind of define the two. It says, when a blaster is ready to fire, there is no dart in the chamber. The spring is not compressed. When the trigger is pulled, the piston plunger rod is picked up and pulled by the gear system. Spring gets compressed, and when the piston reaches the point of let go, the piston is released. And so it's a very extensive write-up. I'm gonna put a link in the description as to all the stuff that's covered here. Very, very good information, so check that out if you have not already. And it looks like, I'm really looking for that release date. Let's see, it is reported that, okay, we got some Worker Gen 2s, HE darts are hitting around 220 to 230 FPS, which that's amazing. This thing is compatible with the Worker Talon straight mags, so that's awesome. And then it says, look around for availability of this blaster around March 2022. So yeah, that's pretty amazing. I've already reached out to Monkeemods, looking to try to get one of these things and do a full review on it. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see that. And to wrap up this episode of Flux Friday, let's look at last week's comments and see what we can find. Now, the first comment, I wanted to bring this up because I just want to show that I do read comments and I listen to what you have to say. And this comment right here influenced how I basically made this video today. So this is from M00K. The QWK looks cool, but I'm more interested in Colonel Wass 76. And I took a look at it and I realized, yeah, that thing's cool. And that's why we featured it in today's video. So thank you. And the next comment, this is from Heat85. Hey, DrFlux, big fan. I would like to see a review of that printer. I'm curious about resin printers. Thank you. And yes, we will be doing a full review video of the Prusa SLA printer. So make sure you hit that little notification bell so you know when that video launches. It should be, I should know exactly kind of when it's coming within the next couple weeks. So, you know, stay tuned, you know, watch the channel. Should see more information. And our final comment is from Zini. Don't know if I said that right. Paint up a blaster to look like a NES and SNES scope and make a Drain Blaster Bazooka look like one. A Power Glove with a 1995 Hidden Shot or a 1995 Wrist Blitzer, Proud Popper or something else, also acceptable, strapped to it. Last, but certainly not least, a Lame Boy. Nintendo loadout acquired. I love it. I think that's a great idea. I actually, as I'm thinking about this, I think of if anyone watches AVGN, when he has that whole like Nintendo loadout with the cape and the headset and everything. It's kind of what comes to mind, and yeah, that would be an epic loadout. I think the main thing is I gotta acquire some more parts and stuff because I do have some extra light guns. I don't have a spare super scope and I don't want to ruin the only one I have, so yeah, we'll have to be on the lookout for maybe a broken one. But yeah, I think that's a great idea. And with that said, that pretty much wraps up today's episode of Flux Friday. So let me know in the comment section, what do you think of today's episode? And of course, you know, I'll try to run a poll, but if I don't, I'll just be pulling comments out of this episode. So, you know, ask me some questions, you know, make it spicy and start some debate. And I look forward to hearing what you all have to say. As always, I want to thank you for watching and happy foam flinging.